Although Muslims in modern times romanticize Muhammad as somebody who gave slaves better rights and emancipated slaves.
Oh yeah, slavery being permitted in Islam.
The Indian media also alleged that Dr. Zakir Naik is encouraging and promoting sex with slaves and is advocating sex slavery.
Slavery is considered bad and that people are obligated to free slaves. Muhammad is the best example of Islam, according to Islam, and he certainly did not have a problem with the idea of the ownership of humans over other humans.
That Zakir is equating wife with slaves.
The most lower part of the human is to be a slave of someone, not just according to mind, but also your body will be in control of someone. Islam is the greatest religion on the surface of the earth in this time. But Islam is also permitting slavery. We Muslims claim that Quran and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon, is the most highest idols for humanity. The question will must raise in your mind on Quran and Prophet Muhammad that why they are permitting slavery. Does Islam really like to promote slavery? How Islam teach us the behavior with the slaves? Just imagine, you have $1 million in your home in cash, and this is your all wealth. Now the government of America, suddenly they announced that from today the dollar is banned. Just think how much this will be the moment of losing everything for you. That is the reason that today governments never apply these kind of rules, because it destroys the society. Imagine millions of people will lose their wealth. Now come to the question, why Islam permit slaves? Remember that in that time most of wealth of people were slaves. The more someone had money, the more he had slaves. It was very common. Now just think, if Muhammad ordered the people that you all give freedom to your slaves, think how it will be a bad time for society. That is the reason that Muhammad didn't command. But point to be noted here, that when Islam is permitting slavery, it does not mean that Islam likes slavery. It was impossible for Muhammad, peace be upon him, to give a strict command against this thing. But he must do one thing, that starting convincing people that it is great deed to give a freedom to slaves. And the result was this, that you will see a lot of stories in history of Islam that the followers of Muhammad were giving freedom to their slaves. The second question, that does Islam really like promoting slavery or not? In the time of Muhammad, when people were stealing, others are doing battles, so the winners were taking the kids and women of the losers as slaves. It was so common, Muhammad was also doing this work. But he was giving this message to people that whoever will fight against the right path, he will get slavery in a result. He never steals someone. To bring people to right path, Muhammad was doing this work. In the time of Muhammad, other people than Muslims, most of them were killing the kids and women of competitors. But Islam teaches us that you will never destroy the homes, churches, and animals of competitors. And you will never kill their families, but keep them as slaves with yourself and have a good behavior with them. Now, what do you think? Killing someone is better, or keeping someone with yourself with a good behavior? Now, let's talk that the behavior about which we are talking, how Islam teaches us this. As I said that it was difficult for Prophet Muhammad because it was so dangerous for the economics of people. So Muhammad just ordered to followers that having good behavior and giving freedom to your slave, it is great part of Islam. It is right that Muhammad didn't give freedom to slaves, but he did that for slaves that other people were even not thinking. When Muhammad said that it is important what you eat, also give that to your slave, people started laughing and said that now my slave is equal to me. How? When Muhammad said that what you wear, give that to your slaves, people started laughing. When Muhammad said that don't give a word to your slaves out of their capability, people started laughing. Mercy and slave, these two words were very far from each other. But in spite of this, Muhammad did. Many people blame that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was permitting the women slaves for sexual pleasure. Actually, this is the nature of a human. If he or she is a slave or free, must have a sexual desire. It was a mercy of Prophet Muhammad and women slaves that he told to his followers that you can also keep relation with your housemaid as you have with your wife. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, provided a golden era for the slaves in the history for the first time. But I don't know why we are still blaming the Prophet Muhammad.